the public policy.
Dr. Helena Hicks, PhD, public policy, led the first civil rights sit-in in the United States. Were you surprised that these riots kicked off Freddie Gray?
No, not at all.
Why?
Because we've been building it up for a long time. Promises that weren't met and completed. If they were met, disinterested people, citizens even in the ghetto who had too much patience and not enough real thought put into what they needed to do. And so you can't push but so far, and then you get pushed back. And so they pushed back. And I'm glad they did, for as awful as they are. I don't know. This country's been at war since 1931. So it tells you there must be some advantage in having these kind of disturbances, because this country is noted for it.
A lot of people aren't realizing that they're having protests all around the country.
Right. Every city. There's a unity out there because we are getting the same treatment all over the country. We have this great divide, two classes, the rich class and everybody else. And this country got founded off of that kind of setup in England way back there in the 1600s. And so if you don't learn the lessons from the past, you get to repeat them, and we're repeating some bad lessons.
So people need to pick up this copy of the city paper. We understand that you have a column in here. What'd you tell them in the city paper?
I just told them all the things, all the ways they had failed the Sandtown Winchester community. And, how much more do you need? I mean, are you going to graduate a child from school that gets all D's? No, you're going to fail him. So the city got all D's, and now they have failed. And they're going to have to live with the failure. They're going to find their way out of it. They're going to have to do the things they should have done 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Any words of wisdom to anybody watching this, including the White House?
What you need to say is not only learn the lessons from the past, you need to plan using the lessons of the past. You talk to the people who are affected and get all these so-called experts and experts who think they know everything, who weren't even alive when the foundation was laid down for this. Get them out of the way.
Now, I do want to get this in. I learned today about you that you have written public policy for Germany, for Canada, for a number of other countries.
Yes, I have. And for families. But you know one thing, policy is law.
And you were saying that we have to look at the public policy.
We got to change it. You have law, regulations, and then the public policy that everybody follows to make the law work. And if you have poor public policy because people aren't following the laws, or bad laws, bad regulations, you're going to have a bad society out there.
Can you give me one example of a failed policy?
Well, let's say the school system. Perfect example. So you set up this horrible system of standards that kids have to meet. Teachers are scrambling around trying to hold on to their jobs to make those policies work, those standards into the kid. It isn't education. It's somebody's stupid, and I shouldn't say stupid, but I mean stupid idea of how you force feed children education. It doesn't work. They are not little machines that you can program. They have their individual abilities, their individual ways of doing things. They develop at different levels. You have to teach children where they are. You can't just set up this standard and everybody meet it, because it isn't going to happen.
Baltimore, are you hopeful that the city won't burn down regardless of what the state's attorney does or doesn't do? I mean, everybody's talking about no indictment. Watch out, there's going to be a problem.
No, because people know they get indicted and punished for the least infraction of the law. You can't have people who get special privileges, not get, and meaning not get indicted, even though they have committed horrible acts against other people, you can't let them off. So, okay, so let off all the drug dealers. You don't want them to sell drugs, then you got to lock them up. If you're going to lock up some, let others be free, you're going to always have drugs. I mean, it's just common sense. So you don't want, policemen can't abuse people and not expect to be tried. I don't know what all the circumstances are, but there's no way, having been involved in law all these years, that you're going to make me believe there is nothing, no charge you can bring against them that will stick. That is just crazy.
Thank you, Dr. Helena Hicks. Keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.